I started to wonder, and I wondered, which led me to wonder. I had to wonder. I started to wonder. I couldn't help but 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 wonder.
Hello, LGBT community. Welcome to City Girls Make 2. We are pretty far along, but I'm Alex, aka Love at First Sight by Kylie Minogue.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm on the Evelyn Wood plan.
So today we're on season 2, episode 7, The Chicken Dance.
What a name for this episode. Like, they really didn't try very hard on this one.
No, even the title, someone vaguely said, oh, I think they're doing the chicken dance, and they decided that would be the name of the episode. They couldn't come up with a pun, so.
Yeah, I have no idea. They usually are really clever with their episode titles, and this one just felt really kind of stupid, but.
Yeah, this episode was a bit all over the place. Like, half of it took place at the wedding, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I honestly don't really know if I don't know. This episode was fine, but I felt like there wasn't a single plot that really stood out and was like, oh, this is really good. It was okay.
Because there wasn't a plot this episode.
Yeah. Not really.
No. Should we get into it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we start with our Carrie voiceover and how there's over 7 million people in New York. Carrie mentions that apparently a lot of New Yorkers don't even have like half their furniture until they have guests coming over.
That sounds extremely fake, but
it's go off. Yeah, it sounds fake. But we do start with Miranda. She has an interior designer in, who is Charlotte's friend.
Yeah.
Because Miranda has a guest visiting.
Jeremy. Yeah. I don't remember how they know each other. I don't even know if they say it. They really just say that he's like her writer friend, and he's applying for jobs in New York City, so he's just visiting for like a week.
No, I can't remember either. They sort of, it seems like they kind of knew each other and then just kept in touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they've been emailing each other, and his emails have been getting flirty.
It's the 90s, so they've been emailing. And yeah, he moved to London and to write for The Economist. Now he's coming back to New York to like look for jobs, I guess.
Yeah.
And Miranda suggested he stayed at her place because they've been flirting a little bit.
Yeah, like, okay, I guess so. I mean, it kind of seems like if he was even talking to her in the first place, he probably was like hoping he could stay there, so. But, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, we're introduced to Madeline, who is Charlotte's friend, who is Miranda's interior decorator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Did she even really need an interior decorator? Because, like, you look at her place, it really doesn't seem like she did anything all that special with it. Like I don't know.
It's weird as well because I feel like an interior decorator is such a rich people thing.
Yeah. I mean, she's a lawyer, I guess. So, like, I guess she can afford that kind of thing. I don't know.
Just go to IKEA.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a pain when she probably can't drive, but
that's true. Going to IKEA when you don't have a car in a city does sound like hell.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even seem like she's a good interior decorator because she has this horrible, I guess, vase / sculpture.
Oh, you mean like the frogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, it's like this ceramic frog thing or something. I don't even know what it is. And they're like standing in a circle, and it's pretty hideous. It's very not Miranda.
No, it doesn't make any sense why anyone would have this in their house, but apparently Miranda does.
Yeah, Miranda's paying for this. Like, she's paying to have her place decorated, and she's getting, like, these dancing frogs. So.
Yeah. And, like, Carrie's there talking about it in her very tight. She's wearing a very tight vest with her nipples poking through.
Yeah.
Which was really distracting.
Yeah, I was like, that shirt is like so light colored too. Like it's so thin and so light. Like I'm surprised you can't like actually see her nipples like through the shirt too. But
like you can see areola. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But that's how we start off the episode with.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, I don't know. This felt like it was on for a long time, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, that it really wasn't that long, but it was kind of like, okay. It probably felt like a long time because the very next scene is like a Carrie and Big scene. So like the whole beginning of the episode is just like, okay, please like start the story now.
Yeah. Oh. So this Carrie and Big scene is atrocious.
I hated it.
So Carrie is staying at Big's because she's like, oh, I'm essentially a guest at Big's house because I've been over there so long. And she asks him if he has a spare toothbrush. And he makes this fucking song and dance out of it, which drove me wild. I felt like this went on for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's so painful to watch. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, Big, just give her a toothbrush. And then Carrie just makes she makes such a big deal of this. Like, he gives her the pink toothbrush head for his, like, he has an electric toothbrush, so there's a second head for it that's pink. And he puts it on the toothbrush and he gives her the whole thing. And then he walks away. And then right after that, she takes it off and then puts it next to his to see them next to each other.
She didn't even brush her teeth.
She didn't even brush her teeth. What is she even doing?
And she says, and I wrote this down, she says, there is only one pink brush head and he gave it to me. This is the single most encouraging moment so far in our relationship.
Girl, this is so depressing.
This is the saddest episode. Their entire storyline just, like, if this wasn't the show that it was, if this was a film or like just made by someone else, this would be the most heartbreaking thing.
Yeah.
Because he is just mistreating her and she is lapping it up. It's horrible.
She's like, I can't believe he gave me just like his fingernail trimmings. I'm so excited to have these. Like, Jesus Christ, girl, like, have some self-respect. Like, I mean, later on she does kind of seem like, well, all I'm getting from my boyfriend is fucking toothbrush head. And it's like, you were pretty excited about it at the time, but I don't even know.
And I mean, if I was pretty much dating someone and they were staying over at my place regularly, I would give them a toothbrush.
Right?
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
They don't cost a lot of money.
No. Like, there's probably an episode where, like, there's probably going to be one where Carrie's like, oh, Big wouldn't let me keep tampons at his house because it's like we were living together. So I just bled right through my pants. So, like...
I mean, you say that. I think there literally is an episode where they have an argument because he won't give her a drawer to keep clothes in.
It's so stupid. Yeah.
It's the worst. And, also, when I said he makes a song and dance out of it, it's because for, like, it probably was 30 seconds. It felt longer. But he is, like, humming and making a little tune out of taking the brush off of his electric toothbrush and putting another one on for her.
It's, what would we do without men?
Fucking go out at night and be happy.
True. Carrie couldn't be happy, though, even without Big, so.
But that's it, thank God.
Yep. That's the whole scene. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we meet Jeremy. He's over at Miranda's, and they're having, like, a glass of wine, I think.
Yeah.
And she's doing that thing where you, like, over laugh at someone's jokes.
Yeah, you can tell she's, like, very trying too hard about this. It's like, clearly he's been flirting with you. Like, just roll with it. But, yeah, she's very into him. He's, like, cuter than she remembered, apparently. He's okay looking. No, he's very plain, but...
He's fine.
Yeah.
And then she's wearing this, like, satin, like, shirt with these long trousers. It's kind of a look, but it's not what I would wear to seduce someone.
Same.
And he's talking about, he says like, do you know what? I'm just fed up with dating. The next person I meet and I like, I just want to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Miranda's heart is like fluttering, even though she just doesn't seem like the type to want to get married.
Yeah, she's
It's weird.
never been the type to really just want to get married or settle down. She's always seemed kind of like, no, I'm okay to just like date for now, and like maybe she wants to get married, but it's not like something that she's got her heart set on, like Charlotte or something like that. Like Charlotte would go bonkers over this, but
no, it doesn't feel like a rush
No.
for Miranda. No, and yeah, so she's going goo goo over it, and then the doorbell rings and Madeline comes in
Ooh.
with an end table.
This moment is just so much like Jeremy stands up and he sees Madeline, and it's just like love at first sight. He just starts talking to her. They're introducing themselves, and Miranda's clearly just like, no. Like, what is happening?
It's so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're talking to each other like it's a rom-com. I don't even remember what they say.
Yeah, I didn't even
Like,
write it down. It was so stupid.
No.
But then,
It's-
yeah, Miranda.
It's like so corny.
It's
but,
so
yeah.
corny. Yeah.
And then Miranda's sort of trying to get her to leave. Like, oh, we were just about to go out for dinner. And then Jeremy invites Madeline to come with them.
It's so rude. Who does this? Like,
If you're staying at someone's place and they invite you out to dinner and you invite someone else, like,
that's so weird to do. Like,
it's so rude.
Uh-huh.
The first night as well.
yeah, no kidding. It's so bizarre. I don't know.
Mm.
But I guess he's just so in love with this girl he just met, which is extremely like, oh hey, like I don't get it, but whatever.
Yeah, so they go out to dinner and it's the perfect day, except Miranda is third wheeling.
Yep. It's so awkward. Like, in what world? I would feel so uncomfortable if I went on a date with someone and someone else was there, and like in those cases, I always like try to be conscious that the other person is there, and you know, like try to make them included so they're not just sitting there by themselves. Like, this is so rude.
I know, but you're not 30 and desperate to get married because that's all that matters in the world.
That's a
so
good
you wouldn't
point.
get it.
Then I guess I wouldn't get it. Yeah, true.
I mean, that is kind of a thing with this. I think particularly with this episode is like all that matters for a woman is to get married. Like, that's the end game. It doesn't matter if you're a successful fucking lawyer with her own apartment in New York City. If you're not married, then you're worthless.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm very in Samantha's boat on this because, like, she definitely talks about how stupid it is that everyone just feels like they need to be getting married and that's, like, everything they want. And it's like, it's like there's other things in your life that are important. But
Yeah, I can understand wanting love, but that doesn't... It seems like marriage is more important than just being in love with someone.
yeah, well, we just don't get it.
It's very depressing. But yeah, Miranda eventually gets the hint by the time they're on coffee.
Yeah.
So by the last stage of the meal, she's like, don't you need to... She's sort of trying to get Jeremy to leave with her. And then eventually she just leaves by herself, which is very depressing.
Yeah, it's very... like, it's awkward because they're just like, oh, well, like, you can go if you want. And she's kind of like, well, okay, but Jeremy doesn't have a key to my place and I don't have his spare. And then Madeline's like, oh, well, he can just take my spare. And Miranda's just like, great. This is great.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Uh-huh. Yeah. This whole episode also loves to jump around in time a lot. Like, this scene, like the next scene after it is a whole week after this, and then like the back half of this episode is an entire 4 weeks after that. So like,
Yeah. And then Carrie says something about how she's been with Big for 6 months or something, or a year, and I'm so confused.
I don't know. Time is fake when you're in New
True.
York. So that's why they call it a New York minute. because time makes no sense.
Oh my god, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Yeah.
I love Mary-Kate and Ashley.
They're so good. I love them.
They are. Oh my god. I need to start a Let's Play channel or like stream on Twitch so I can play Mary-Kate and Ashley Crush Course.
Oh my god.
That's all I'll play. Oh,
I would.
so good.
That would be the only thing I would ever watch on Twitch on purpose.
Yeah, once we've moved on from Mary-Kate and Ashley standing, it is a whole week later and we are having a goodbye party with so many people for someone who has been living in another city for apparently a while.
I don't understand this at all. Like, she throws a party. He's been here for 1 week.
He's been here for 1 week. He's presumably been living in London for like at least a year, probably a few. So it seems weird that he would have this many friends in New York.
Yeah, I don't get it, and I'm also confused because like the whole reason he was here was to like apply for jobs and stuff. So it's like I don't even know if he got a job. I don't know anything about this guy aside from his really stupid plot this episode.
The logistics are wild.
It makes no fucking sense whatsoever, but whatever.
He's like giving a speech, blah 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 blah, and he reveals that him and Madeline are engaged.
Yup, they sure are. It's like they have literally known each other for 1 week, and yeah,
I guess when you know, you know.
I mean, maybe. I want to know what happens to this couple in the long game. I need to know.
Me too. Well, because several people say it ain't gonna last, which I think everyone would think.
Yeah, but I also don't know. Like, is he still going away? Like, is he just moving in with her in New York now? Like, we don't know anything about this. I'm so confused.
No.
And apparently we just don't even know if he has a job. So they're like, let's throw a wedding a month from now when I'm not even employed, and it's going to be a really nice wedding.
We can afford a wedding, and a wedding that is really fucking fancy too.
It is a fucking nice wedding, like beautiful venue in New York, like huge, lots of people are there. Like his friends brought their parents. Like that's how many people are there. It's huge. It makes absolutely no sense. Like unless they're both just super well off and have rich families, I don't know. I hate these people so much.
Yeah, me too. So Miranda's pissed off, and like they do what everyone does at a party where, you know, you go outside and one of you has a cigarette and you all just have a fucking bitch.
This is my favorite part of going to parties.
Yeah. But mine too. Like you're all kind of drunk, but mainly you just sit outside and talk for the evening. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, I just love to sit around with my friends and talk shit is the thing. So
me too.
It's really good.
And so Miranda is very pissed off. My favorite part about this episode though is Miranda is like snuggled up with Charlotte.
It's cute. It's really good.
And then later they're holding hands. Like,
are they? I didn't even see that. That's really adorable.
I died. But yeah, she's ranting like, what the fuck? You know, I liked him. He was meant to be with me. They've known each other for a fucking week and they're already engaged. This is bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. Everything you would expect her to say.
Yeah, and plus she says she has to redecorate now because they just spent a week fucking on her couch. So,
ugh.
Which gross.
Fuck at her place.
Yeah, go. Oh, I don't understand this at all. This is so gross. But
that is gross. And yeah, Charlotte. Everyone's doing what you'd expect them to do. Charlotte is talking about how it's like really romantic. Samantha is talking about how marriage is a scam, and then Carrie's just talking about big.
This is, yeah, I didn't really think about it that way, but it is incredibly spot on. It's, yep, Carrie brings it back to herself because Charlotte is like, well, any of us could be engaged in 2 weeks from now. You never even know. Our lives could just change like that. Like that sounds awful, but you do. Yeah. But
I'm not Ariana Grande. I can't be getting married that quick.
No.
And then even she didn't. So
right? Yeah. And this is where Carrie brings up her problem with Big, because she's just like, well, yeah, I mean, like, you could be engaged in 2 weeks, or you could just date someone for a year and, you know, be excited to get an electric toothbrush. Like, fucking...
Like, everything has to be about her, and when... I don't know, I'd say Miranda is clearly pretty upset, so maybe it should be about her for a minute.
Maybe.
Carrie? Maybe a good friend would console their friend when they're upset. I don't know.
You'd think, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Carrie is just bird tweet again, so...
I love how there's just a language which is completely indecipherable by anyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So then, yeah, they walk off, and then that's when Miranda and Charlotte are holding hands, and I cry every time.
That's when, before they walk off, that guy comes and meets Samantha. And it's like right after Samantha's complaining about how everyone wants to be married, but it's just like married people want to be single. And she's like, this whole thing's stupid. And yeah, he's like, oh, do you guys know where the engagement party for Jeremy is? Which is like, oh my God, this is so stupid. Like, how does he already know it's an engagement party? He literally just announced his engagement, but...
It's not like he got a text.
Yeah, right? Maybe he got it on his pager. I don't know. But Samantha's just like, oh, well, you know, like, I was just leaving because there were no handsome men there, but if the tides are turning... And yeah, they walk off together. Like, Samantha just leaves all her friends to go back to the party with this guy.
I love her. I love Samantha.
She's perfect. Yeah.
And yeah, then they walk back, and I don't know. That's when they're holding hands. And that's all I really care about in this episode, because the rest of it was trash.
That's a very pure moment. It's just, it's leftovers of Charlotte being closeted, and
true.
I cry for it.
Oh, God, if this series ended with Miranda and Charlotte getting married, then I would take back everything I said.
Oh my God, Sex and the City 3, please.
God, you're right.
God. I also love how they're walking back and Miranda's just like talking about how she feels invisible and she's so pissed off about it. Then they get to the door and the doorman's just like, can I help you? And Miranda's just like, I live here. And she just yells at him. It's so good.
It is. Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carrie, who has been smoking non-stop because she was smoking on the steps, and then she was smoking as they were walking back, and now she's smoking in her apartment. I'm really worried about her lungs.
I am worried about her lungs, but also like, Carrie, just stop being alive. So whatever.
So she phones Big, and she starts talking like, I was at a party and these people got engaged and they hadn't known each other for a week. And he is asleep.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you know, we live in New York. I don't know, crazy stuff's happened or whatever. Oh. And then he's like, what are you wearing?
Oh, I hate this. Yeah.
I fucking hate him.
Yeah, he keeps asking about it because she keeps bringing up the engagement thing and just like, do you believe in love at first sight? And he's just like, can you describe your top to me? And it's like, what? I hate you.
He is not even listening to what she's saying.
No.
He's just trying to get his fucking dick wet. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's no nut November, so...
Yeah, come on, Big. Just no nut. Bad. He, well, what she does is she's like, oh, I'm sorry, did I wake you up? And when he says yes, he's like, you know, it'd be better if, like, you know, you woke me up, but it was you standing at my door naked. And
God, do you ever sexually harass your own girlfriend?
Right? I'm just like, ugh.
It's so gross because, I don't know, she's clearly, I guess, if someone phones you in the middle of the night, presumably they have something important to say. I mean, Carrie doesn't, but like, he is not even bothering to listen to her.
It's probably because he knows that she literally has never said anything important in her life. He knows this and he doesn't love her.
That's so cruel, but correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just the worst. I don't like him.
Yeah.
I know we're not breaking new ground. I know every single episode we go, we hate Big, but it's because he's very hateable.
He gives us new reasons to hate him every single week too, which is like incredibly impressive. So yeah.
Yeah, hats off, but he fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, he's the fucking worst, so fuck you, Big. And she hangs up, and then she starts to wonder, as she does, in a city as cynical as New York, is it possible to believe in love at first sight?
And then, just as we thought we were free, we are shackled again.
The fucking talking heads, and not even like the good kind who make music. It's the bad kind who fucking drag our souls. There was
David Byrne is nowhere to be found.
There is no big suit here, and a
big suit.
That's what it would be called if Carrie ever sued her boyfriend.
For what? Emotional damage?
Yeah, it'd be a big suit. And there was nothing interesting here. The only thing good was that the one woman who's like, how can you believe in love at first sight in a city where people jerk off on you in the subway?
Yeah, this makes me never want to go to New York.
Yeah, I was like, that's disgusting. I really hope that's not true, but also, I believe you, so.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard of that happen. I've heard of people jerking off on the subway. I haven't heard of people jerking, like, onto someone.
Yeah, same. That's next level, but.
That is some next level disgusting behavior,
Yeah.
so.
Again, it's No Not November. Put your dick away.
If you can't not jerk off for a month, then you're not a man.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So, yeah, there's a guy who I think would be a good match for the lady at the end, though. Where he's like, women want to see an ATM receipt before they even go out with you. He seems very angry.
True, he was angry.
So then we're with Madeline. Carrie is there for no reason. She admits that she doesn't even know her that well.
Why is she here? Madeline's planning her wedding. Carrie doesn't even know her. Why are they hanging out? I do not understand. Carrie doesn't even preface it with oh, I'm doing research for my paper.
It's so weird. I mean, maybe that's why, but
she never says it though. And if something isn't explicitly spelled out for me, how am I supposed to know what's happening?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. We need it black and white in paper. Why isn't this a book? That would make more sense.
Why is Sex and the City not a book?
But yeah. So Carrie's there. Also, imagine if you were planning a wedding in a month, right?
Yeah.
And then a friend is like, I'm writing an article. Can I come visit you? No,
fuck off. But she seems to be happy about it. She's just like she's planning stuff, and then she's just like, oh, Charlotte's one of my bridesmaids. Did she tell you? And Miranda's doing the guest book. Guest book? That's not a wedding job. That's not a job.
That's not a job. That's not even usher or something.
Yeah, the guest book just sits there and people sign it. I've literally never gone to a wedding where someone stood in front of the guest book to be like, do you want to sign it? But
no.
Yeah.
Fake job. Yeah, and then Carrie's just like, oh yeah. Carrie isn't even listening really. Mm-hmm. Until Madeline asks her to write a poem for the wedding.
Yeah, that's such a weird request, because she's like, I really like your writing. Could you write a poem? Because, there's literally no difference between poetry and a sex column. But
there's no difference between a poet and a journalist.
No, no, they're not different kinds of, writing talent in the slightest. So
no, it's like how if you're a swimmer, then you would be a fantastic runner because there's the same sports.
You're using your legs in both. So
exactly. Ugh, it's so. I would just straight up been like, I'm not a poet. I could write a speech maybe, but I'm not a poet.
Yeah, it's very, especially like a sex columnist. Like, what are you gonna get?
It's not like, oh, the newest dick piercings. I'm here to talk about at the wedding. Hi, I wrote a poem about sex toys.
Honestly, if I was Carrie, I would have just pulled some shit and written like the dumbest poem just to be like, this is so stupid that you even invited me here, but I don't know.
Love will leave you wanting more, even vor.
Oh.
I would love to see Carrie write about vor.
Would I? I don't think I could stomach it.
I think I just clipped that, so have fun. Yeah. So they're at my favorite part of every episode, which is the brunch/lunch/dinner.
Yep.
And Samantha is angry because, well, yeah, Carrie's like, I'm a sex columnist. What do you expect me to do? And then Samantha brings up that she had a deja fuck.
Yeah, this is, I was a little bit with Charlotte here, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so the guy she met at the engagement / not going away party, she had slept with before 15 years ago.
Yeah, she figures it out when they're in the middle of boning, and he's like, grab my hair, and then she just kind of has this like you can see the light bulb light up in her skull, and her galaxy brain just shoots out of her head, and she's like, have we fucked before? Like, while he's inside her, and he's just like, yeah, like 15 years ago. And she's like, why didn't you tell me? He's like,
oh, I thought you were doing this sexy stranger thing.
Yeah, which, okay. And then
with someone you met 15 years ago, they're not doing the sexy stranger thing.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's very funny, though, but, like, Charlotte's like, how do you forget someone you have had sex with? Like, it's not like you were on a taxi together. Like, you had sex with them. And Charlotte says she keeps a list.
Which you don't need a list. That's a bit much.
I can't even imagine keeping a list, but I don't know.
If you need to keep a list, then I would. If someone said, "Oh, I keep a list for everyone I have sex with," I'd say, "Oh, are you in the double digits?" I wouldn't, because otherwise, I feel like that's just internal memory.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Like, I get that a lot of people have slept with more people than they would, like, just be able to remember offhand. But I don't think that you would forget any of them. Like, you might forget them if someone asked you, who are all the people you slept with? Which I think is normal. But if you saw the person and didn't remember that you'd slept with them before, that seems a little bit surprising.
Yeah.
But.
And it's weird. Also, I thought he was saying grab my ears because he doesn't have that long hair.
Oh, yeah, I was very, I don't know, I heard hair, but you're right. I was like, what is she supposed to grab onto? He doesn't have, like, anything, but I don't know.
But then Charlotte's like, oh, I'm a bridesmaid and I bought my dress.
I loved this part so much. Like, this was probably my favorite part of the whole episode.
Her bridesmaid dress is like this black satin number that is backless. Mm-hmm. And I think Carrie or someone's like, oh, that's a bit sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That was it. Miranda was like, is it hideous?
Yeah, because she's like, no, I got to pick it out myself. It just had to be black. So, but yeah, it's either Carrie or Samantha or something. One of them is like, that's pretty sexy. And Charlotte gets so defensive. She's just like, all she said was it had to be black. And then she just like it goes off and she's just like, I've been a bridesmaid 7 times and it's always, don't look at me, look at the bride. And then she slams her hand on the table and she's like, this time they're going to look at me.
It's wild. I don't think I mean, actually, no, I'm certain I have been mad enough to slam my hand on a table,
Mm-hmm.
but
In public at lunch?
no.
It's really
Over
good.
a bridesmaid dress of all things.
Yeah, she's pretty excited about this.
Hey, when you know you're going to look sexy, it is pretty fun, though.
It is pretty good. Yeah, it's true. I would love to be like, I have who are all these people who are being bridesmaids like 10 times? Like, I have never been a bridesmaid. I was once my mom's maid of honor, but I was like 10, so it doesn't really count. But like, who are all these people?
Like, same. I was a flower girl for my cousin's wedding, but when you're a bridesmaid, you have to buy your own dress, and there's a lot of effort into it. I don't want to be a bridesmaid.
Yeah, I mean, better than maid of honor where you have to like plan all this shit and everything. Like, oh my God. When people are fighting over being like maid of honor, and then it's like, okay, well now you have to like plan this bachelor party or like stagette or whatever, but like,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't know.
Did you plan your mum's wedding then?
Yeah, 10-year-old me was like, absolutely. We are having, I don't even know shit about flowers at age 27, so I can't even make anything up here. But, yeah, no, I didn't fucking shit all, but,
Yeah. I mean, it does look like fun. My sister has been engaged a couple of times. Sorry to call her out. But I was like, oh, I get to be a bridesmaid, and then it didn't pan out, so I got blueballed.
Rip, getting blueballed on being a bridesmaid. That's sad. Dang. But it's kind of cool. I like the idea of being a bridesmaid because, like, if you don't have to do that much work, but if you do get a nice dress, then you get like some attention, but you don't have to like go through the entire like, oh, I'm getting married thing. So
No.
I don't know.
No.
But I just need to know more people who are getting married. But
I mean, I feel like for you especially, you wait a few years and then your friends will be getting married.
yeah, true. Yeah.
So that's what I keep thinking. I was like, oh, I want to go to a wedding. And then I realized that probably by the time I'm about 30, I'll be going to a few weddings a year.
Yeah, that's fine. I like to go to weddings, so.
I like it until I'm there and I'm mindly miserable.
Depends on if the bar is open or not, I guess.
True.
And the food. But
yeah, I think that's about it.
that's
Miranda's still feeling kind of sorry for herself.
Yeah, Miranda's like, I'm in charge of the guest book. That's not even a job. And she's right. But
It's not a job, no.
they all are just so, like, stressed about this stupid wedding, and it's not even their own wedding. And it's like, just chill. Like, you don't even have to go. But, I mean, I guess they all feel obligated to. And
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
And then also open bar. So
yeah.
and then Carrie is writing her poem in bed with Big, who is ridiculing her.
Yeah, this is, I mean, like, I get little playful teasing, but he's not, like, trashing it or anything. He's not like, wow, this sounds so fucking stupid. You're gonna read this in front of everybody? But he is just, he kind of does, because he's like, oh, I would never miss you getting embarrassed in front of, like, all of New York City, but,
He's a dick.
he's a dick, yeah.
He's not helpful in the slightest.
No.
And he's like, oh, you're going to rhyme love with glove?
He's like, well, it also rhymes with shove, but like, you probably don't want to have that. And it's exhausting.
He's a guy who like never grew out of his frat house, and it's
No.
extremely obvious.
And it's some real straight nonsense here, because he's just like, oh, well, when is this wedding anyway? And Carrie's like, well, it doesn't matter because you're not going. And Big's like, of course I'm going. And he's like, well, I would never miss your love dove glove poem in front of everybody. And like, okay, say that again in 4 weeks. But it's painful to watch.
It is painful, and he is totally, I don't know, he's just like a child. It's gross.
Yeah, it's
And
annoying.
Yeah. And then it's the wedding, which is like the rest of the episode.
It's 4 weeks later. We've jumped we've already jumped 1 week ahead. Now we're jumping another 4 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big's picking up Carrie to go to the wedding at her apartment. And Carrie's trying to get him to sign the card, and he's just like, no, I don't want to sign it. And she's like, it's literally just the card. Like, your name was on the invitation and everything. Like, because he's like,
he's like, how did my name get on the invitation?
And this is so weird.
I mean, it's kind of obvious that she asked for his name to be on the invitation, but she like freaks out and she's like, I don't know, maybe she asked Charlotte.
Yeah,
it's just so uncomfortable.
It's so stupid. Like, why is he freaking out about this? Literally, who cares? It's just your name on an invitation. Like, he's such a baby. He doesn't sign the card. He freaks out about the invitation, and then they leave and go to the wedding. That's that.
Yeah, and Carrie. Can we talk about Carrie's naked dress?
She sure is naked dress. Yeah. Is it the same naked dress as before? No, I don't think
it's
it is.
Different naked dress.
Yeah.
But it's like a nude, and then it's very tight, and it has like splits going pretty much all the way up.
Yeah, it's something.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's wedding appropriate.
Carrie's not appropriate for anything. So,
no. Yeah, and then we're at the wedding, and fucking Samantha is dressed like Marilyn Monroe.
She is. And Miranda's dressed like the funeral.
Well, Miranda is like dressed because everyone's in like full-length gowns. It's clearly like black tie, and then Miranda is in just like a cocktail dress.
Yeah, it's not that nice, but it's whatever. I mean, she is only doing the guest book, so I mean, she, it's an important job, but she's barely even a guest because she's just standing at the guest book the whole time. Well, she doesn't because she leaves, but
yeah, and yeah, Carrie's like, where do I put the gifts? And then Miranda is, I'm just the guest book. I'm not the gift woman.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Yeah.
Samantha is just not even helping. She's just leaning against it and like checking out the guys.
Yeah, she's so unhelpful. And then she looks into the guest book and she's like, oh my God, my rerun guy is here. And Miranda's like, bitch, you met him at the engagement party. Did you think he wasn't going to be here? Like, and then she's just like, I got to start writing things down.
Yeah, the voiceover says that Samantha always knew how to turn lemons into Spanish fly.
That's good. I like that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And then we get to see Charlotte's dress.
Oh, yeah, it's very sexy. Mm-hmm. It's very backless.
It's a very nice dress. It's like pretty much like a floor-length black dress, and then it just ties up at her neck and full back. Very nice, very classy, but sexy, classy. Mm-hmm. And we immediately meet Martin. She comes up and everyone's like, "Wow, you look amazing." And then this guy Martin comes up and he's just like, "Hi, are you with the bride or the groom?" And then it's like, why are you even asking if you like? It turns out he's the guy walking her down the aisle. But
yeah, because he says like, "Oh," she says, "Oh, I'm bridesmaid," and he's like, "Oh, I'm Martin. I'll be walking you down the aisle." And it's so fucking cheesy. He's looking directly into the camera.
Yeah, it's weird. But then they just walk off together and they're like clearly super into each other already. And I'm like, Charlotte.
And I mean, wouldn't this be arranged? You would bridesmaids and your groomsmen, you would kind of organize that.
Like, okay.
Before.
Was there not a rehearsal?
I mean, it was 4 weeks, but like, I feel like that's some pretty basic stuff everyone needs to know.
Yeah, so. I don't understand how this wasn't planned, but either way, Carrie notices she's in the program, and she's like, "Why am I in the program? I barely know them." And Miranda's like, "They barely know each other," because Miranda's my favorite cynical girl. I love it.
She is extremely salty about this. I love it.
It's good.
And then it just kind of, the two of them get married, and we don't even see it. It's just like, by the way, they got married. Anyway, reception.
Yeah, we cut right to the reception, and the bride and groom come out, and Miranda's kind of like, she's still bitching about it, because she's just like, oh, and it took her months to find me an end table, but like, she planned this whole wedding in 4 weeks, which, I mean, it is kind of...
It's a turnover. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why it would take 4 or multiple months, but, you know, I don't know anything about interior decorating, so...
No, I've only ever played The Sims, and that's pretty easy, so...
Yeah, fair. Samantha says that the end table, she bets, is going to last longer than the marriage, which, tables last a fucking long time. Like, I feel like that table's still going to be around even after these people are dead.
Yeah, especially if it's made out of, like, decent wood and everything, then... That will last ages.
Yeah.
And people have fucking end tables that are like Victorian.
Yeah. It's a very bad, I don't know. That's like saying, well, I bet their marriage isn't even going to last 30 years. Like, okay. I feel like there's other things.
It's a long time for a marriage to last.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of better things you could come up with examples for, but that's okay. You know what? When you're just super salty, like you go for whatever you can get. So But
and then yeah, it's a very extravagant wedding. It says, I think they say they're at the Plaza, which is a very fancy hotel, which they managed to get. There would be a fucking waiting list, which is longer than 4 weeks.
Yeah, I don't understand how it's TV show logic, I guess. But Martin gives a speech. Martin's speech is super short. It's kind of stupid. I don't know.
Movies and TV led me to believe that speeches were really short. And then when I went to a wedding like a few months ago, I went out and like went to the toilet, had a cigarette, and the same speech was fucking going on.
Oh, people go a long time in speeches. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess on TV shows and stuff, like, there's only so much time, so they kind of have to just show something, but I don't know. He's like probably a 30-second speech, and then he sits down, and Carrie's next with her poem, and you can just tell that she's just so unhappy about this walking up. She's just like groaning about it.
And she like pulls the card out of her dress, out of her tit.
She does. It's really good.
Didn't even have like a little clutch, like a handbag with it in.
No.
Or give it to big, and then, you know, it's weird.
It's just a little titty poem is what it is.
Titty poem.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's just, she's saying her poem, and it's fine.
It's fine. It's kind of sappy, but I mean, it's a wedding, right? So, I mean, whatever. It's fine. It's better than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be really bad, to be honest. But
yeah, I didn't have high hopes.
Yeah, so it's better than I expected. But
Big gets a phone call, and he leaves.
Yeah, he didn't even have the decency to have his phone on silent or anything, or vibrate during this. Like, right in the middle of her speech, we hear a phone ring, and of course it's Big, and he like gets up and leaves to take the call, and Carrie's like clearly devastated, because she's like, you know, like, this guy can't even watch my entire poem, he won't even be on a card with me, like, what, like, this is so stupid, I deserve better than this. But
she cries, and she has to spin her cries as if she's crying tears of joy for the couple. It's really sad.
It's like, Jesus Christ, girl, this is clearly like, you're clearly not happy here. Like, what is supposed to be drawing me toward me wanting you to be with him? Like, they clearly are building up Big to be like the end game for Carrie, right? You know, like her big love of her life. But, like, everything they do makes me go, I'm not rooting for this. Like, why are we supposed to root for this? But
yeah, everything they do, I just want to say, leave. You two are clearly not happy with each other.
Yeah.
It's so upsetting.
And he just makes her worse. Like, Carrie already has a bad personality, but, like, when she's with him, all of her faults become so much worse.
Yeah.
There's not a single thing that he makes better about her. So, I don't know.
No, they don't improve each other in any way.
No.
There's no lifting each other up.
Nope.
And then they're at dinner and they're having salad.
Yeah, I hated this scene because I really don't like Martin.
No,
him
I don't like anyone called Martin.
I know, it's like, okay. He reminds me of like if a dog was a person, but like I love dogs, so I hate saying that. I don't know. He's just like really, really enthusiastic, and he's like, him and Charlotte are being so annoying. I hate it. Charlotte's just like, oh my God, I also want 3 or 4 kids. And he's like, well, where do you stand on cat or dog? And they're just like going off about their lives together, like what they want.
They've known each other for like a couple of hours. It's wild.
Yeah, like a song comes on, and he's like, I think this should be our song. And then they go dance to it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. This is awful.
And yeah, Miranda's like, oh, can you pass me the dressing? And she's not listening.
Mm-hmm. No.
Carrie is smoking inside during dinner.
I love this. Just inside like a really nice venue, you're just allowed to smoke right at the dinner table. It's good.
At a wedding.
At a fancy hotel. It's good. And then Big finally comes back. Like, I don't know how long it's been, but he's just like, oh, sorry, like, did I miss anything? And Carrie's like, well, only my poem and, most of the reception, but, maybe we can dance and, it's forgive and forget. And Big's just like, oh no, like, I don't want to dance.
He says, I don't like dancing when people are eating,
What the
which
fuck does that mean?
True.
Like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, I generally only like to go dance when there's like already a lot of people on the dance floor. Maybe that's what he means, but I don't.
Maybe it just means,
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to dance when people are eating, though.
Yeah. It's so weird that he can kind of tell that she's like probably a little bit annoyed that he went away and came back for like after so long. Because she does kind of say, like, oh, well, forgive or forget. We can dance about it instead. And so she clearly has been annoyed about it, but he's just like, no, I don't care.
Yeah. No, he doesn't care about her feelings.
No.
Why would he? He's a piece of shit.
No reason. Yeah, so Carrie storms off to go to the bar because she's just like, okay, well, fuck this. So she goes to find Samantha at the bar. Samantha's been talking to some guy who's like, do I know you? And Samantha's just like, we probably fucked.
And he's like, I think we went to college together. And then she's like, yeah, we probably fucked in college.
I love it a lot. She has like no story this week. Like, that's it. That's her story.
No. She literally just looks gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Yeah, well, she was more valid than pretty much anyone else by having no story, so good for her.
And then, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to fucking order this week, but we'll get there. And then, yeah, Carrie orders a scotch straight up because she is angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's complaining about Big, and then pretty soon after, Miranda comes up too, and she has like a shitload of gifts in her arms. Because, like, I guess part of her job is also to put the gifts in the van, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, Miranda's still not amused by anything going on.
I really, really liked this part because she's just like, okay, well, like, can you guys help me? Or, like, should I just stand in the street and, like, where no one will see me so I can end it?
And then I think Carrie goes, yeah, I'll help you what street. I love good banter between friends.
It's really good. I just love how dramatic she's being about this. She's like, this guy that, I've been flirting with, I wanted him to be with me, and I'm going to stand in the street and just end it because I'm so grumpy.
But, like, relatable queen. I think I think I say the same thing when I'm just mildly annoyed. So.
Today I messaged my friends and I said, I just hatched a Mareep in Pokemon Go. I'm going to fucking end it all. And so I get it. Like, I'm an overdramatic bitch too. So It's
I mean, everyone hates it because I'll be like, I'm gonna kill myself, and they'll be like, Alex, please don't say that, and I'm like, oh, not really. I'm
Please
just
don't
kind
joke.
of, I'm mildly irritated, so
so I'm gonna be as hyperbolic as possible. Like, I have to be. It's good though. Carrie helps her friend out, which is kind of nice. So, you know, Miranda before
and then
Big
and
Yanda.
then they see Charlotte and Martin going upstairs, and like Samantha just points.
It's true. And Miranda's all pissy. She's just like, if they get married in a month, I'm not going. Which,
That's
mood.
yeah.
And we also find out here that Miranda's wedding gift to Madeline is the dancing frog sculpture thing that she got for her apartment.
That's absolutely deserved.
I love that. That is like the pettiest shit, and I'm so here for it.
To re-gift something that someone bought for you at their wedding.
Yeah, it's so good. It's really good. Especially when it's a really hideous, shitty gift.
What is fucking hideous? Like, I like kitsch. I would fucking hate this.
Yeah, same. Mm-hmm.
So, Charlotte and Martin, they're not having sex yet. They're decorating, I guess, the hotel room.
Yeah, they have like a suite for the couple after, for them to fuck
The-
in, I guess. And
The honeymoon suite.
yeah.
Maybe they got married so quick because they were waiting for marriage to fuck.
God, what a stupid reason to get married. Just fuck. I don't know. Could you imagine waiting to get married and then finding out that your partner, like, does the jackhammer sex? Like,
Oh, then I would kill myself.
yeah, that is like a for real, we're not even being dramatic. Like, I would literally end it all.
Everyone's like, Alex, you could just get a divorce. And I'm like, well, that wouldn't just display my feelings well enough.
That's not dramatic.
I need to... No, it's not the drama I need, so...
Exactly.
You know me. You know I like me some drama.
Yeah.
Listen, I was born a dramatic bitch. I will die a dramatic bitch.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
They're like decorating it. They're throwing rose petals on the bed and some silly string and then they fuck. For realsies.
It's like, well, no one saw this coming.
We're alone in a room with a bed.
Oh my god, ooh, it's so romantic in here. And like as soon as they are done having sex, they come back down the stairs. And as soon as they get down the stairs, well, they get down the stairs, and Carrie's voiceover is talking about how, you know, like, well, Charlotte, they hadn't even been on 3 dates yet, but they had dinner and been dancing, so it's kind of like 3 dates. And but Charlotte's still kind of worried that, you know, oh no, I slept with a man that I might marry.
You meant to do that.
Yeah, I don't get it. But the second they come down the stairs, they run into his parents who are there. So the whole thing is happening super whirlwind. Like they just boned for the very first time, and 2 minutes later, she gets introduced to his parents.
I hope she washed her hands.
Oh God, I hope she did too. Aww. Yeah.
His parents are like super old.
Yeah, they're really old. They've been dancing a bunch.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, it's so weird because they're like, oh, let's dance. And he goes to dance with his mum, and then she goes to dance with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all moving very quickly. And then his dad immediately grabs her ass.
Yeah, he fills her up right away, and she's like obviously appalled by it. She's like, excuse me. And then like they've been dancing for all of like 10 seconds, and Martin already comes back and is just like, oh, can I take her for a dance?
Yeah, everything. The time of this episode is so confusing.
It makes no sense, but
no. So then Charlotte tells him, like, your dad just felt me up, and she's clearly upset.
Uh-huh.
And he just immediately attacks her and is like, you know, my parents have been married for how many years. He's not going to risk it all for some girl in a slutty dress.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Just fucking hot. He is like bang off the gate.
Yeah.
Being a complete arsehole. And then the voiceover is like, oh, Charlotte realized that if he wasn't going to take her side now, he wouldn't take her side after 3 kids and a dog. And it's like, no, she just got fucking slut-shamed
Yep.
at a goddamn wedding by a guy she just slept with.
Yeah, and also, like, it's not even a slutty dress. I mean, if it was, it wouldn't make a difference, because it's like, you would never say that to someone. That's so rude and you're just being mean for no reason. But it's not even, like, I don't understand this at all. But
it's not a dress that's inappropriate for the evening. It's just, it's, you know, it's a little bit sexy, but like, it's not like her tits are out or anything.
No.
And even if they were, it wouldn't make a difference. It just seems like he immediately turned into an arsehole very quickly.
He just saying things to be mean-spirited, because she had the audacity to call out his dad for, you know, like, feeling her ass. So
yeah, and it's not like she has any reason to say that. It's
yeah, it makes no sense. But
No.
But then Charlotte yells at him as he storms off, like, have the last 4.5 hours meant nothing to you? It's really good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But that's it for Charlotte.
Yeah, that's it for Charlotte. We're back to Carrie and Miranda. Like, they put all the gifts in the van, and they come back in, and Big's sitting on the table, and he's like, excuse me, have you seen my date?
Ugh, he's being obtuse as always.
I fucking hate it. It's so rude. Like, oh, you didn't disappear for like half the night for something? Like, fuck off. But
he's just rude. And, you know, I can't even remember what Carrie says, because by this point of every episode, I start to just not even really bother to take any detailed notes, because I know it's just going to be Big and Carrie.
yeah, I mean, all she really said was like, sorry, I was putting gifts in the van. And
then
yeah.
Miranda, like, walks off because she realizes this is fucking a not conversation she wants to be a part of.
Yup. And then Big is immediately just like, so are you ready to leave? Carrie's like, they haven't even cut the cake yet, have they? And
she's like, you can leave if you want to.
Mhm. Yeah, which is like true. He could have left at any point. Like, and I do get that it sucks to be left at a wedding where you don't know anybody except for your date, but also when she went off all mad, he could have gone after her, like, at any point. So
yeah, and he's a grown man, he can mingle.
yeah, exactly. It's just kind of pathetic. But he's like, oh, what's wrong? Because he's an idiot who has no sense of, you know, what the fuck he could have possibly done wrong. And Carrie's just like, you wouldn't even sign the card, and we don't want the same things, I think.
It's pretty clear that they don't.
Yeah,
so.
It's stupid. And Big is being a fucking idiot here. He's like, things like cake? Like, this isn't a time to be cute.
He is not. She's trying to have a serious conversation with him, and he is just making a joke every single time.
It's really stupid. Like, he's trying to be cute about it, and she's just like, she's clearly upset about this. Like, don't just make jokes about her being, you know, she feels like shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, then Carrie kind of starts to go off kind of like, you know, I just want someone who's going to be with me until the end of a wedding.
And then they, like, call for the bouquet or something, and then he's like, isn't that the end?
Yeah.
Just jerk off motions.
He kind of stops being a grumpy
constantly.
ass about it. He's kind of like, okay, I'll stay. And, but they don't even end up really staying. They leave pretty soon after. But Carrie goes to at least say goodbye to her friends and watch the bouquet get thrown. It lands right at their feet, and none of them pick it up. They all kind of just stand there and look at it. Like, I guess they just have to make no one pick it up so that pause is, like, intentional, that none of them are getting it. But I don't know. It's just by this point in the episode, I'm just exhausted. So that's pretty much the end of it. Like, Carrie goes back to Big so that they can just leave.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and they walk off into the fucking night, and
yeah, and
it's
her
insufferable.
voiceover basically says that they're gonna go home and have cake in bed.
Yeah.
No.
Like, nothing.
Nope.
Nothing is resolved. I think that's the issue, is they bring up problems with their relationships, but they don't resolve it.
Yeah, and Carrie, like, verbally brings them up too. It's not even like there's an issue and they don't talk about it. They talk about it, nothing happens, and then Carrie ends up being satisfied for the moment, but then in the end of it, it's kind of like, this guy's not giving me anything that I want, but she's just holding on to it because she thinks she wants it so bad.
Yeah,
so.
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I'd feel worse about it if Carrie was not so shitty, but
yeah, it just seems like she's one of those people that is extremely insecure.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Carrie is easily the most insecure out of all the girls in this show.
Yeah.
So, but
that's it.
That's it.
Should we delve into rankings?
I think we should. Fuck, I don't even I don't even care about them this week.
Yeah.
Like,
No one did enough.
Carrie was my bottom. I feel like Samantha was probably my top just because she didn't really do much. Like, she didn't do a lot, but she had some funny lines, and she was kind of like, this is all bullshit, and I don't know, she was just there for laughs, so that's fine. And then I guess Miranda, because, like, I know what it's like to be the pettiest bitch in the world, and I get it, and I feel for her, so she's second. Charlotte's third. I mean, I really liked Charlotte's little, like, hissy fit at the lunch place when she was like, everyone's gonna look at me. I don't know. And Carrie's last because she sucked ass this week. She was so bad.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'd say everyone's in the same place for me.
Yeah.
And I guess Carrie would be a bottom and Samantha would be a top.
Of course, just like nature intended. Yep.
Questions?
Yeah, we can do some questions.
If you want to send us questions, then you can send them into seagirlsmakedo.tumblr.com/ask. That's where we're taking these. And we have a lot of questions.
We do, but I think some of them we can do pretty fast.
Yeah. But we do have a lot because someone asked the questions when we already had like 5.
I forgot that we already had like 5 questions.
I wasn't going to call you out of Maine and be like, we already have 5 questions, don't send them in. But
I forgot because I saw them early in the week, because sometimes we get questions like the night we record after we've already recorded, and I'm like, oh, well, cool, we've already got questions, and then I forget about them, and then I'm like, oh, we gotta ask for questions. But to be fair, the ones that we got asked, like, one of them I already had an answer for like 5 weeks ago, and one of them is a comment, so we're good.
All right, so let's go. First one is from Morg, aka Haunting the Morg on Tumblr, who asks, which girl likes ASMR?
Not Carrie, because I feel like Carrie always seems to, like, I feel like all the girls seem to, like, get into something, and quite often Carrie will be like, I just don't get it. Like that one episode where everyone was loving their vibrators, and Carrie was like, whatever, like, whatever, this is stupid. Yeah, I don't think she ever has, and yeah, I feel like she would just be like, this is dumb, and like, I don't care for ASMR, but I'm also like, whatever, if you enjoy it, then that's cool. I would personally, I don't know, the idea just gives me like shivers in a bad way.
I don't
think about hearing it.
I don't know why a big thing is like people eating, because the sound of people eating in real life makes me want to throw myself in front of a train.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I hate that so much. It's the worst
thing in the world. I get so pissed off when people are whispering. Like, I need people to speak at a reasonable volume, or else I am upset.
Well, that's true. Like, I'm very deaf, so, like, I have very bad hearing. So, like, if people are whispering, I'm going to be like, oh my God, speak up. So I'd have to turn up the volume really high if I was gonna like listen to ASMR or talking. And then I feel like that defeats the purpose of it. I don't know. But
Yeah. I feel like maybe Charlotte or Miranda maybe listens to it after work to de-stress.
I feel like Samantha probably doesn't think it's like great, but she's probably like, I don't know, it's fine. But yeah.
And I feel like I don't think any of them listen to like sexy stuff. Or maybe Charlotte listens to like those boyfriend role plays.
Yeah, she probably would.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But thank you for your question. I hope we answered it correctly.
So.
Next one is from another friend of the show. We got a lot of friends of the show this week. Sarah McCostumes, who is Cosmima on Tumblr, who asks best/worst outfit this episode.
I mean, you know, Charlotte's dress is a high contender. I liked that a lot.
I would say Samantha's, perhaps. Actually, both of mine are Samantha.
Yeah, Samantha had some good looks. I also, I really, I'm sorry, my cat's doing the stupidest thing right
What's he
now.
doing?
He is playing with his toy, but he's like jumping in the air like an idiot, and I love it. Anyway, I really, during the lunch scene where Charlotte was,
Oh yeah,
going off about like being a bridesmaid, she had this really, really nice red blazer on, and I was very into it. That was maybe my look.
I saw that and I knew you'd like it.
Yeah, that was probably my look of the episode.
Yeah, I would say my look. I do love Carrie's dress. I just don't think I would wear it here.
Yeah, same.
So I'm gonna give it to Samantha for her. She's got like a very diamonds are a girl's best friend look, but it's sort of gold.
Yeah, it's a really nice look. I like it. It's classy.
And then worst is going to be Samantha because during the engagement party, she's wearing like red trousers and then like a blue like button down vest and like a white cardigan. It's a lot of different outfits. She's dressed like a slutty Uncle Sam.
Oh my god. Oh, it wasn't
terrible.
a good color combination. And I like to put together some weird colors sometimes, but it just wasn't good to see with the eyes. I didn't love it. I don't know if that was my worst one. I honestly feel like anytime Carrie wears the tank top with her nipples out, that's just not a look I care about. Like, I'm all about nipples being out, but like it's always like the thinnest shirt possible, and like I just don't care about Carrie's nipples. I'm sorry, I can't.
I haven't cared about nipples since I was 1 year old. Thank you. Next one is from Anonymous, or just Anonymous, who asked...
Did you say that like Anonymous?
I don't know why I said that. I feel like that was some weird fucking Tumblr, like, 2012 thing.
I love that.
Anonymous, who asks, projecting maybe, but galaxy brain take, Charlotte's hyperfixation with love and marriage is internal homophobia.
Yeah.
This is true.
You're right, and you should say it.
Yeah, I mean, ever since that episode, but like it's something I thought about before. It's a very weird hyperfixation.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even seem like she actually likes any of the guys she dates. It just seems like they're fulfilling this very like heteronormative nuclear family role that she's developed in her head. So
yeah, you can tell she grew up with a very conservative family who like engraved in her head that like you need this is what you want for your life, and she just grew up thinking that was true, and she's just waiting to be freed from her shackles of heterosexuality.
God, okay, we need to talk to Kim Cattrall and be like, please make Sex and the City 3 so that Charlotte can be a lesbian. Please. Next one from another Steph, 2x2 Furious, who asks, if SATC ever had a body swap episode, who would you want the girls to swap bodies with? This can be just between the main four or with other characters in the show.
I would love to see Miranda swap bodies with Carrie because there's so much bullshit Carrie puts up with that Miranda would not put up with. Like, Miranda would ruin Carrie's relationship with Big in like one day. Forever.
You're right. And you should say it. I don't know. Carrie, if we had Carrie and Miranda and then Samantha and Charlotte swap, I guess that would be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're like played as opposites all the time.
Yeah. Then, I don't know, if they swap bodies with anyone else, maybe Stanford, someone could swap bodies with him. Just because I like Stanford. He should be in more episodes.
Yeah. All I'm thinking about is, like, what if people swapped bodies to ruin Big? Like, what if Miranda swapped bodies with Big, or Carrie swapped bodies with Big, and just, like, ruined his life?
Next one is... it's from Sarah, friend of the show, a host of HCAP. My dear friend, who has a comment, which is just... oh yeah, she's a Tonkers on Tumblr. First question from her is City Girl Fat Pussy.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for that. Next one, I think this is the question that you've already answered, which is what Homestuck characters would each of the girls kin? Sorry if this question already got asked. I have a mind like a sieve.
Yeah, I answered this question like 5 weeks ago. Carrie kins Kanaya, but she's not Kanaya because she sucks ass. She's actually Jake. Miranda kins Terezi. Charlotte kins Fafetta Sprite. And Samantha kins Mina. That's it.
And last one from Sarah is poetry, yeah or nay? Or is it yay or nay? It'd be yay, wouldn't it? Let me start this again. Poetry, yay or nay? I love my partners with all my heart, but if any of them started reading poetry to me, I would immediately run out of the room.
It's not for me.
No, I mean, I used to love poetry as a teenager. I don't know if I love it now.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, if anyone, this is just me, if anyone ever wrote a song for me or a poem for me or, like, made something for me that was in some way creative, I would hate it, no matter what.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the thing with poetry is it's just too free to me. Like, there's just too much that you can possibly do with it. I don't know. I feel like poetry to me is almost just more of a personal thing that I would do for myself if I wanted to, like, you know, just let my train of thought out. But I don't know if I'd ever want anyone to read it. And I don't enjoy reading other people's poetry.
Oh, no. The only time I like reading poetry is when they're, like, poets.
Yeah.
Not just, like,
even
amateur
then, I'm
poetry.
kind of just like, why is this so
terrible.
popular?
It's... Yeah, I think... So, well, someone could make something that was beautiful for me, and I'd still be like, you need to put this in a cringe compilation because this is trash. I just...
Oh my God.
I don't know, there's just something in me that can't cope with anyone like... I always... You know when you see stuff and it's like, oh, my boyfriend sang a song to me. I'd want to die.
Now I'm just imagining you at, like, getting married to someone and they read their vows to you and you're just like, put this in a fucking cringe compilation because it's like... Yeah, it's really good.
I do that Shrek picture and I'm like, click, this one's going in my cringe compilation. I imagine I somehow tiptoe the line of being a completely hopeless romantic and, like, just disgusted by displays of affection. It's really good. But thank you for your amazing comments. Last question is from Summer, aka Interstellar Princess on Tumblr. She's back to Interstellar Princess now, so that's good. Who asks, fast love isn't always a bad thing, but sometimes people who fall hard and fast for extremely toxic people, what's the best way to help loved ones who are stuck in a bad relationship and moving too fast?
That's tough.
Why did you think we could answer this?
Man, I don't know. It's hard. I mean, I have straight up told friends before who are like seeing someone that they shouldn't be seeing, like straight up, this is a bad situation. And like, I know you think that it's not really a big deal because, you know, you might think, oh, well, I'm not even going to be with them in like a year, or I don't know. Like, I've definitely not been afraid to tell a friend before, like, you should just end this now. This isn't going to end well for you or for the person. Like, just, yeah. I don't know. It really depends on the situation, I guess. But toxic people, always bad. I'm always kind of skeptical when people fall hard, even if the person, or not hard, when people fall fast and hard for someone.
Yeah. I think you should just sort of let them know how you feel about the situation, but not cut off anything. Always be supportive and be like, hey, if you need a place to stay, if you need someone to talk to, if you need to just get away for a bit, you know, I'm here. Because you can't make someone leave a relationship.
No, you really can't. It has to be on their own terms. So you can maybe open their eyes a little bit.
Yeah,
but
open their eyes, but you can't expect them to listen to you because they won't.
Yeah.
And
pretty much.
Yeah, Mini Lightbringer, the song Fast Love by George Michael.
I love it. I love to bring a Lightbringer onto this show.
Yeah, just play George Michael for them, and then it'll be like the Pied Piper. They'll just run away.
That's a good idea. I like that. Everyone, don't be silly.
Everyone gotta get up to get down.
Yeah, I love that.
But that's it.
But yeah, that was our last question.
Yeah, that's everything this week.
Yep, that is it all. So yeah, you can send us stuff at City Girls Make Do on Tumblr, Twitter, and Gmail. It's the same handle everywhere. And I'm lazy. You can find us on Noisepace, the best podcasting network on the entire World Wide Web, at noisespace.xyz.
Yeah, we are officially beefing with Max Fun and Headgum. We will catch us outside. Fucking gang brawl.
Truly. And Noisepace is officially sponsored by Topper's Pizza. Thank you, Topper's Pizza of Canada, or I should say of Ontario.
What toppings did you get? I never asked.
I always get the same pizza. I order like a barbecue sauce base, and then I got like chicken strips and bacon and roasted red pepper.
Oh, okay.
With like a ranch swirl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to. You have to get a dip.
I'm a big barbecue chicken pizza slut. So
okay, cool.
Yeah. And you can find me on Twitter at Age of Oddish, and you can find me on Tumblr at Windfall Island.
Oh, cool. And then, yeah, you can find me on Tumblr. I'm Dog Phoenix. And Linda McCartney does a barbecue chicken pizza. So if you don't want to eat meat, but you want to get that barbecue chicken flavor, that's your avenue. I'm going to have pizza tomorrow. This is the official pizza party.
Hell yeah. The official pizza party of the Commonwealth. So, you heard it here, of Noisepace.
Yep. Goodbye and God save the Queen.
Bust a nut.